So at the beginning of the year, I made a honey mead in England, which I infused with ginseng, and that one turned out amazing. But now I'm in Korea, and I want to make a honey mead again, and I've been meaning to do this for a while. But this time round, I really want to try and make it like a very Korean style honey mead. So for one, I'm going to ferment it in Korean fermenting vessels, which are known as hangaris or kimchi pots, which is like the more common English name. And I'm going to be using Korean honey. I've got this sort of raw, unpasteurized honey that is locally sourced from just around the island which I'm staying on. I'm hoping that'll taste good, if not interesting, but I'm more curious to see like what kind of color it takes on as well. So let's get into it. We're keeping this mead as basic as possible. So I've only got maybe 4 ingredients. One is water, which I'm just using bottled spring water because tap water here isn't too amazing. It's not recommended to drink it. I've got my wine yeast, which I'm using Lalvan EC1118. It's just wine yeast. I try not to get too complicated with yeasts. I tend to just buy a bunch of these and use these in all of my ferments and stuff. So I'm just gonna use this yeast. This is the honey that I have, and it's a raw, unpasteurized honey made from bees that were collecting pollen from wildflowers, I think. But all you should know, it is local honey, and it's raw and it's unpasteurized, and it should be amazing. Next up, we've got gennip, which I've got soaking here. Gennip is perilla, and these are actually growing on our farm, and they grow like wild here, so I just went and picked like a whole load of these. So I'm gonna juice these, take the juice and put it in with the water for the mead. And if I don't think it's strong enough, I'll actually take the pulp and actually put the pulp in there as well and see how that goes as well. This is the fermenting vessel we're gonna be working with. These are just traditional Korean earthenware pots made for fermenting. In Korea, these are really cheap. I got this one for $20 and it's probably like 1.5 gallons. It's just an earthenware pot with nothing inside. And these nets you can just buy in Korea. They're specifically designed for these, and they're really cheap as well. So the first thing we're gonna have to do is to sterilize the fermentation vessel. And in Korea, it's not that easy to get like brewing sanitizer. So instead, this is how we do it in Korea. With these pots, we just steam sterilize. So I've got a saucepan with some water in it, which I'm gonna turn on to a boil. And we'll just take this, put it upside down on there, and then let that come to a boil. Let the steam sort of work its way around the pot and warm it up. We'll leave that for about 10-15 minutes, and that should sterilize it. Okay, so this has been sterilizing for a bit now. So I'm gonna carefully take this off. I've got a wire rack here, which I'm gonna set down here. Careful, it is very hot. So while those were steam sterilizing, I actually went and juiced the perilla already. And this is what we've gotten out of it. It's this really deep green juice, and you really can't see through it. So this is about cooled off now, so we can start adding the honey and the water. I'm gonna start off by adding 1 kilogram of honey to this, and then I'll add 2 liters of water, and then mix that together. And then I'll add the perilla, and then I actually forgot to mention, I made yesterday kind of like a yeast nutrient. So I took some of the yeast, let it activate in the water, and then boiled it off to kill the yeast. By adding this to the mead, it should help the yeast sort of kickstart its fermentation by giving it a little bit of like nutrient ready for it to eat. Once I've added those 2 things, I'll add the rest of the water to bring it up to about 6 kilograms or 6 liters. Oh, this honey smells amazing. Okay, 1 kilogram of honey. Delicious. I'll add my first bottle of water. So this will be 2 liters of water going in. And give that a good mix. We'll add our gennip juice. Add a little bit extra water just to pick up all the bits. That's already made it super green. My DIY yeast nutrient. Give that another mix. We're at 3.4 kilograms now, so I'm gonna just basically add water now until we reach 6 kilograms. And that should bring it right up to the top. There you go. So now we're at 6 kilograms. That includes 1 kilogram of honey, a little bit of the perilla juice, the homemade yeast nutrient that I made, plus water. So that adds up to about 6 kilograms. I should also mention that I don't have a hydrometer, so I can't measure the sugar levels in this mead, which means I can't really exactly know what the percentage of alcohol is. For me, that's fine because I don't really like care about knowing the exact alcohol percentage. When it comes around to drinking it, I'm pretty sure I can kind of roughly guess how much the percentage is based off of like how much I drink and how I feel afterwards. But yeah, if you are going to be serious about making mead and brewing alcohol, I do recommend getting a hydrometer. I do have one back in England, but I don't have one here. I don't really know where to get one here because I don't think people do this often at home. So they're not that readily available. So if you're gonna do it yourself, I recommend having a hydrometer, recording all your numbers, calculating the alcohol percentage. So now all I'm gonna do is just add my yeast, close this off, and then set this in a cool spot. Because this is earthenware, it doesn't need to be dark. It's already dark inside, but I do want to put it in a fairly cool spot to like slow this down as much as possible. I'm just going to add this whole pack. Well, it's half a pack because I used it already in something else. And then I'm just going to mix this up just to get everything incorporated. Because I'm throwing this together like fairly quick and like not really taking a lot of the precautions that I usually would take, and because I'm doing this in a container that won't be completely airtight, there is a chance this could go bad, but I feel like mead is fairly forgiving, so this should turn out pretty good. But there's only one way to find out. I'm gonna let this ferment for about a month probably. It could be even quicker because it's quite warm at the moment. And then after that, we'll give it a taste. We'll bottle it. I might save some bottles to have now, but also save some bottles to age for a bit. With mead, it's always best to age it for a few months to even up to like a few years. We'll see if I do a few years because I have to be back in England and back here. So maybe that'll be a future thing when I come back to Korea, is to try out the mead, given that my parents don't either one, drink it or lose it. So for now, I'm going to cover this up with this net, put my lid on and put this away.